Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another settlement video. I apologize if my voice is a little hoarse and I'm a little stuffy. I'm just getting over a cold. Today's actually the first day where I can breathe, so that's a good thing. So we are at Tenpines Bluff, and this is my giant castle build that you've all been waiting for, and that I know a lot of you have been excited about, and I have been super excited myself. For as long as this game has existed, I've always wanted to be able to build a castle like the one that you're about to see, and now I can finally do it, because now I'm finally on PC. I've had it forever on PC, but just never got around to actually building, doing all that kind of stuff. So now I am, and so here we are. Big announcement for the channel. I've been asked a lot in the past if my settlements could be downloaded, because I know a lot of people have liked all my past settlements and wanted to do that, and the answer is no, unfortunately. Until now. Now it's going to be possible. Not right this second, but eventually it's going to be coming up. You're going to be able to download some of my settlements. I'm going to be making some of them available to anybody that wants to have them. The only requirement really is that you have to be on PC. I'm not sure if you can get one from PC over to Xbox. I don't know how that works, if it's possible, but if you're on PC, you will be able to do that. Now, if you look in the upper left-hand corner, you see I have the frames per second running on Steam, and there's a good reason for that. So right now we are facing my build, and we're about 40-something frames per second, and now we're looking away, we're at about 126. I will be explaining when the time comes what is causing that massive frame rate drop there, so be prepared for that. If it's something you want to download and use, you might see some of this yourself. And at the end of the video, I will be going over exactly what you need to do in order to download this, the requirements, etc., and so stay tuned until the end. So, right out here, Tenpines Bluff, we have a wall, and we can see a couple buildings, and a big massive door. That's the door borrowed from the castle settlement itself. Out here we got a couple of turrets helping to defend the place, and a couple little guard stands up there as well. Since this is a castle build, I kind of wanted to stick with the medieval theme of things, and we don't really have much in the way of electricity going on here, or technology. Everything is powered by fire and candlelight. They farm, etc., etc. When the world sort of came to an end, they decided that they wanted to keep things simple. So, in a not-so-simple sense, I guess they built a giant castle, but they decided to go with a society that doesn't need electricity or technology. So, yeah, these are just fairly simple folk. I guess you can kind of say they're like the kingdom in The Walking Dead. Something like that. So, as you can see, there's the big giant castle itself, which we will be getting to in a little bit. And then right in here we have the actual town of Tenpines Bluff. We've got a couple of buildings in here. We do finally have water. For those of you who have been watching my previous episodes, you know that when I built a castle here before, a very sad representation of a castle, I wanted to do water, but I couldn't because I was on the PlayStation. I mean, you could, but it just, by the time I got to the point where I wanted to put the water in, it was too late, because you need a big giant flat piece of land to do it. It's just such a pain in the butt. But here on PC, we don't need any of that. So, yes, this is my settlement. So let's go ahead and get into checking out some of these buildings. Again, very, very little electricity. We do have a little water wheel over there that produces just a little bit of electricity for the 1 or 2 light bulbs that this place happens to have. So, yes, we have this big security door powered. When we hit that button, the door comes crashing down and locks into place, just in case we have some bad guys coming in. And right here, let's go ahead and take a look in one of our first buildings. So in here, we got ourselves a nice little dining area and kitchen. Some of these decorations are provided by Woody's Wasteland. All the buildings are done by Snappy Builds, and then we have Creative Clutter, a whole mess of mods in order to make this place. Actually, we can go ahead and bring up the menu right now, and I can show you like the biggest ones right now over here towards the end. CVC, Snappy Builds, not your average neon. We used that for that sign right out there. I did not use Kraggles. Possibly a little bit of Homemaker and Creative Clutter. The door out there is by Zabrina's Workshop Devices. So if you guys are wondering about how to do something like that, I'm going to have every single mod listed below in the description. But the main ones that I used are the ones that I just named right there. Fireplaces are done by CVC. Some of the other ones as well are done by Woody's Wasteland. So yeah, really cool mod. So we got ourselves a nice little kitchen here with our stocked shelves and a little tea kettle and whatnot, and little cupboards with doors that you can actually open and get inside them. And you can put stuff in there so that you can pick and choose what decorations you want. I did do some functional... Let me see if I did one in here. Here we go. Oh, no, I didn't. I took it off there. Never mind. There is functional smokestacks. It's a new mod for me from Woody's Wasteland plus a few others, and I kind of went nuts with them. I had fireplaces and functional smokestacks in like every house, like a whole bunch of them, and I had to actually come back in and cut back on it because there was just too much. Up here, nice little bedroom, living quarters, etc. If you notice, anytime we face towards the castle, the frame rate drops and we get that little bit of hesitation. I will show you exactly more or less what's causing it. I went through a whole plethora of things to try and fix it. Got a little blinds on our windows there, neat mod. And I actually went in and did some modifications of one of the preference files to get my frame rates up, so that, like, you know, if we're looking away, you can see I'm well over 100, as well as doing some settings with my graphics card. But I thought all those would fix that issue, but it did not. So I will show you when the time comes what is causing that. Now, for the pub, this is probably my favorite building in this whole entire settlement besides the castle, because it just came out so perfect. Again, I was trying to go for that old English medieval times type thing going on, and in my opinion this came out pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. These flowers here, these window decorations are provided by Woody's Wasteland, as well as the foundations down there, but the building itself was done using Snappy Builds. Now, I'm sure you hear the little bird crying. Let's go take a look inside, and boom, there he is in a cage. And then we also have ourselves a nice little cozy fireplace, a whole bunch of lanterns in here. Got some tables with some candles and chairs, and got ourselves a nice little couple of machetes hanging over the fireplace. This is another mod called like Fireplaces and Campfire or something like that. I will put that in the description below as well. But in the meantime, I can actually... let's see if we can pull up where exactly that is. It's in regular decorations, not in the USO section. I use USO. Here you go. Decorations, campfires, and fireplaces. BBCF, sorry. Really cool mod. Gives you, all kinds of little campfires down here, and then fireplaces. We have all these different ones with logs that burn, some with grates, some without grates. Really cool stuff. That little guy right there, part of Woody's Wasteland, actually gets to be a little annoying after a while, because all he does is just caw at you, so be prepared for that. We got some decorations for the pub down in here. We even got a little Brahmin skull hanging out up there, lanterns all over the place, a little cuckoo clock that does not do anything. Food decorations, this is all from, I think, Creative Clutter and/or Do-It-Yourself. Love that mod. Comes in quite handy. Nice little wood stove here, which if you've seen my other build with the actual castle, the Minutemen Castle, if you interact with it, your character will squat down, as we see him doing here. Let's see if I can get the view here. Maybe. Back it up. There we go. He's just standing there, squatting down, warming his hands. So, really cool mod. And let's get out of that. And yeah, like I said, this is one of my favorite things I've ever built. This pub just came out so cool. I just love the feel of it, the look of it. Up here we got some living quarters, sort of, beds for rent, and a little gravity-fed toilet and some lanterns, and that's pretty much about it. And that's our little pub right there. So, right across here, now this entire thing here was built using Woody's Wasteland, and now you can actually see some of our functioning smokestacks there. We got one over there and one over there, and this one's kind of puffing out of the side because I glitched two of them together. And here's a good look at some of the water action we got going on behind this place, and same thing going on behind that one over there. So, yeah, for Woody's Wasteland, we can do things like chopped wood, those flower decorations, laundry, because it's very important. Need to have some clean clothes, and we got ourselves a little building table here, because this guy's doing construction on this. Even got a little potted plant up there that kind of hangs down. And inside, we have ourselves a nice little cozy cabin with another fireplace. Now, this fireplace is actually part of Woody's Wasteland. Comes as a whole entire wall, and then on the back side, when we go outside, I will show we got the whole entire fireplace stack going on there. Really cool. Some more stacked wood in here. Nice little moose lamp that a friend of mine would go nuts for. She absolutely loves mooses. Yeah, if I ever found something like that, she'd absolutely love it. So, standard stove that you can get for cooking does not provide smoke, but with using things like Woody's Wasteland, we can get the pipes going outside and then angle them up and then get some more smoke coming right out of that guy. We've got ourselves a nice little full table here. This was Creative Clutter. Typical bed, chairs, couches. Again, nothing in here, not really any electricity except for that little lamp. But there you go, Woody's Wasteland. So, over here, garden.
Work to do. Can't talk now.
Good for you. So we got ourselves a little garden, and then we have our little shed here that provides some power. Like I said, we got a whole little thing going on as the water comes down this way and feeds it and produces some power. And so this is the back of the fireplace here. As you can see, you got this nice little stone thing that goes all the way up and down, and really cool chimney. So the water, yes, the water, it was quite the production to put in place. I'm using CVA for that, Custom Vanilla Assets. Very awesome mod that allows you to get water. You got the nice big pools of water that... oh, no, they are moving, okay. And the waterfall effect is actually created using little spouts. I just put a whole bunch of them in here, and then I added some mist and some grass and a whole bunch of rocks, and I did this so that it looks like it's kind of coming out of a spring out of the ground. And the reason being is so that we can have waterfall effects, because over here we have another waterfall coming down. This feeds our main moat to the front of the castle here. Again, because of all the different elevations in the ground here, I had to get creative in order to get water all around this castle. So, where's the water coming from? We have our spring coming through this wall right here. Got ourselves a nice little display. Maybe this is, I don't know, ancient times, something or other, whatever. Same kind of idea where the water is coming from kind of like an underground source. Now, where's that water coming from? Right here. We have ourselves a natural spring pool that pops up and feeds through the holes in the rocks there and feeds all the water into this settlement. And that's what we got going on here. Like I said, I had to get very creative on how to set this up. You know, I could have just left it as water to, you know, surround the place and just left it as is, but I wanted to kind of do a little lore-friendly something or other, some sort of story, something that kind of shows the water actually coming into the place and functioning, I guess you can say. Just threw some rocks in down here, and as you can see, we got the wall that goes completely around the castle. I can get a little sneak peek of what's going on inside there. We'll be headed in there in a few minutes. So let's continue on. And so, yeah, I got little grass on a lot of the different sections, all the little green guys down in there. We have our little retaining wall, I guess you can say, in between here for our bridge. Now, I did use a mod that probably could have given me a bridge, but it was too modern looking. This mod here is Sabrina's Workshop Devices. There's all kinds of actual functioning bridges in here. One of which is like the typical metal framed one that you push a button and it slides in and out. And again, I was trying to limit technology, so I just put down some wood planks and hooked up some wire cables so that it kind of looks like it's a drawbridge. You know, got to use your imagination. We'll come back to those buildings in a second. Over here we got a little seat for fishing and one of our residents. A nice little campfire as well.
I need to get back to Diamond City one of these days.
Yeah, go ahead.
Biggest town
You're
I
allowed.
ever saw.
So, more waterfalls. The water comes all down there, comes through here, goes in that way, circles back around, and comes down this way, as well as coming down on the side there. Again, like I said, I was just trying to be creative and give it some place to go. And actually, you can see the water kind of glitching through the wall right there, so just ignore that. You didn't see that. Another little waterfall going on down here, some splishy splashy, and then nice big giant pool of water back here. So we got ourselves a functioning moat basically going all the way around this place, just about. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at these other two buildings, and then we'll head into the castle, which I know a lot of you guys have been dying to see.
My back hurts, my feet hurt.
Yeah, mine too. Oh, and so down here, you know, we do have a pass-through. I put a nice little grate on each side here so you can actually see the water going through. So again, trying to keep this kind of practical in a sense, I guess you can say. Now, this house here, this house is really cool. Again, built with snappy builds, and then I used another mod called like posts and something like that, and you'll see why in a second. So with this one, I kind of went with like an old German feel with the beams going through all the white plaster. I borrowed the chimney here from Woody's Wasteland to connect to the other type of fireplace that I put in here. And yeah, I started looking at these walls. They were big, giant, boring white walls with no character to them. So I threw in a whole bunch of posts all around this to kind of give it, like I said, an old world German feel to it. If you've ever seen some of the old school German architecture, they use a lot of these posts to kind of break up the sides of their buildings. I think initially they actually were like supports. But nowadays, if they're copying that look, they just kind of do it as a facade, basically. So in here, got ourselves a nice little bedroom area here, some decorated shelves, and a couple of lanterns, and some skylights in the roof up there, and yeah, a nice little cozy cabin. Again, we got ourselves a little stove here. And let me see, did I put a pipe there? I might have at some point, but then I might have taken it away because, like I said, I went really crazy with putting these guys into them. And so you can see we got another functioning chimney up there. So let's go ahead and take a look at our last building before we head into the castle. Again, that foundation there is supplied by Woody's Wasteland, and pretty much, I think every single building except for that cabin, yeah, was Snappy builds. So in here, again, I went for the same type of stove just because I was going nuts with all these pipes and whatnot, and yeah, just kind of is what it is. You'll notice the difference in with the wallpaper and whatnot. This was a new learning experience for me. This was my first time using Snappy builds, so I'm still kind of playing around with the interior wallpapers and this and that, and that's just the way it is. And now look at this, we got ourselves a fish tank. That again is from Woody's Wasteland. I love that mod. So many cool, neat little things for decorations. Kudos to the creator. You have some skills, and I love your style. Really, really cool. So in here, we got some clothes hanging up, a little bed in our little sunroom section, kind of overlooking the water, and a couple of shelves full of food and you know, basic living quarters, and even got ourselves a nice little radio here. We can turn on and off, but we're going to leave it off because if music starts playing, get a copyright strike. Now, on to the big kahuna, the castle itself. Nothing to do with Harry Potter. I know when I put this up on Facebook, on a bunch of the fan club pages for Fallout. Everybody went nuts and a whole bunch of comments about Harry Potter this, Harry Potter that, and it has nothing to do with Harry Potter. I just really love castles, and as I said, I've always wanted to build one in this game since the game was first announced, and now that I have cool mods like Snappy builds that offer these awesome textures, I'm going nuts with this type of stuff. I got another settlement coming up in a couple of weeks for Shawshank Redemption. I'm building Shawshank Prison using a lot of the same textures, so look forward to that coming up. So, the castle. Yeah, let's just go ahead and head right into it now. So right here we have ourselves an iris door. Go ahead and open that. Very Stargate-esque. If you know what I'm talking about, you are awesome. If you don't, you know, get out there and watch some Stargate. Love that show. And if you know my channel, you know I've done an entire settlement based on Stargate. So right over here inside our massive courtyard we have a fountain. Now if you look at some of the water coming down here, like those little sections coming down, that's what I use to make all my waterfalls out there. This actual waterfall here is part of a decoration. Comes with the water down there and comes with its own water falling down. I just added some extra. That was actually purely accidental because I had put a fountain in here before I had found this guy and was building my own, and then I discovered it, so I just swapped it out. So we got our courtyard here. Get our first look at the castle inside of it. And over here on the side we have a church. Got ourselves a little cross up there, so this is a Christian denomination, I guess. Little miniature one. I didn't realize when I was building it how large the pews are, so I only ended up putting one single row in here instead of a row on each side. Kind of reminds me of an old joke. Confucius say, man who farts in church sits in pew all day. Yeah, if you're new to my channel, dad jokes galore. So yeah, we got some decorations in here. Kind of went for the old world stuff with, you know, putting catacomb style things with burying people in the church and the walls. You know, very important people. Got ourselves a cross there again. We got our little stand here, and apparently this pastor's got a little something hidden down here. He's got potions and a skull, and he's into some very naughty things. The roofs here, I could have gone up further, but because of the way I had to glitch that front tower thingy into it, it would have been like sticking down and looking kind of funny, so just kind of put a faux roof in there. Ceiling, I should say. Alright, so we have our fountain here that we can drink from if we wanted to, but we're not going to. We're going to head into the castle. We got our nice little neat doors here, very reminiscent of Skyrim. Kind of reminds me of, I don't know, one of the castles. I don't know which one, but there you go. So inside here we have the throne room. Right behind the door we have a couple of guards. If you saw my previous castle build here, I used these guys before. They're just statues. You cannot do anything with them. You cannot interact with them. But they do look lifelike. And so yes, this is my throne room here. Fairly simple, just kind of kept it as a throne room, meeting room. We got ourselves a nice massive staircase leading to the upper floors. Now, all the lanterns that you see in here, this was actually what was causing the frame rate drop. I know I have a few of them in my other buildings, but initially I had like 100 of them in this castle alone on every single floor. You couple that with the water effects, and that's what's basically causing like the huge massive frame rate drops. These things swing, they have light, they cast shadows, so it's just a lot of everything. If you do like very high details on the shadows, it does cost some frame rate drop there. So sorry, my nose is getting stuffy as I'm talking, so bear with me. I'll try to get through this. Big fireplaces. I've been looking all over the place to try and find different fireplaces to put in them, and I found all the ones that I've shown before, but size-wise they just didn't seem to fit. So, as I've done in the past, I built my own. I used some wall textures, put a nice little curved wall in here, put a little floor, and then put a whole bunch of campfires in here to create the effect of big, giant, massive fireplaces. Alright, and of course we've got some thrones and some carpeted floor here. and a couple of power armor statues for whatever, why not? Big giant tall ceilings, and another look at our entryway there. And so over in here we have the apothecary, the scientist lab, the mage lounge, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We got some crystals on display, we got tons of books, all kinds of flowers, chemicals, bits and pieces, very much inspired by Skyrim. I kind of wanted to do this room as a little bit of an homage to the mage room on the first castle you come to in Skyrim, whose name for some Dragonreach. There you go. When you get to Dragonreach, yeah, right off to the side on the right, you got the mage room in there, and so that's kind of what I did in here. We got nice big tall ceilings and some wallpaper and some more light. So again, this is what was causing some of my frame rate drop, and is what it is. I do have a brand new graphics card coming soon, so that should help out when it's actually new. So all in due time. So right up here we have just a couple of power armor displays going on, some more guards here, and then just kind of an empty room. Just really couldn't figure out what to put in here, so I just kind of left it as is. In here we have kind of a ballroom in a sense. This is a room right off the side of the main bedroom. So we have some paintings, some displays, some more guards, more stairwells that lead up to other floors. A bunch of display cases in here with all kinds of different things. These are the Jamaica Plains, treasure of Jamaica Plains, and a whole bunch of other stuff. These are tributes to the dead wife. It's just something that's offered. We also have the silver shroud in here, a whole bunch of different stuff. That comes pre-filled like that, and you can't actually touch any of the stuff. You can just open and close them. And we got ourselves a little door here with a little balcony. This is a fully functional balcony that overlooks the water here and the wasteland. Again, built using Snappy builds, and let's hop on over here so we can actually get a look at what that texture looks like right there. So now you can see this is actually a little hovering balcony. Alright, now it's time for the master bedroom. And inside here we have a little bit of everything. We have big giant drapes hanging down, and we got paintings and displays. We can actually, I think, open the doors to see some of the stuff in there. I was trying to fill them in, but it was being kind of glitchy. I could only manage to get stuff on like one shelf, and then the other things that did fit would like stick out the side, kind of like you can see a little bit right there. So I just kind of left it. You can open these two, and you can see the, the drapes glitching through. So, but yeah. Over here we got ourselves our nice little bed, some candles, and I think this is this the one? Yes, this is the naughty display. We have handcuffs, and yeah, we're just going to kind of leave that one at that. Some books on display, a table, kind of borrowing from Game of Thrones and stuff, where they have a table for the king or queen with a whole bunch of stuff so they can go over things in their private domicile with the important people. Another little thing here, nothing in the display, a couple of seats so they can kind of hang out in this little cove right there. And over here, got ourselves another little display for whatever reasons, a little changing curtain, and just a nice little corner here, and the master bathroom. We have a couple of hampers, a toilet with the toilet paper facing the right way. If you know the Institute, theirs is facing the opposite direction because they are terrorists. Yes, if you put your toilet paper the opposite direction of that, you are an evil person. In the bathtub, we got some steaming water and a rubber ducky. Because why not? It was in my displays, decorations in one of them, and then we have ourselves a bathtub, so now we have a rubber ducky. Bathrobes, towels, the whole shebang, sinks, everything. You can even, oh, look at that, you can turn the water on. I didn't know you could do that. I was trying to open the door. I don't think you can open the door, but you can see down there we got toilet paper and towels and nice big tall ceilings in here, and there you go. That's the master bedroom of the castle. And you can see this is one of the sections of tower. It's kind of closed off there. I could not put stairwells in the towers. That's why we're not using any of them. They're too narrow. So they're just basically decorations. You can't even go into any of them except for sections like that. So coming up here, we have one more floor. This is the master library. We have books and books and more books. Everywhere you look, books. Up in here, there was like 1,000 lanterns. I had to take them all out in order to keep my frame rate functionable. It was causing my frame rate to drop down to like the teens when I had all of them in here. So it's better. As you can see, we're up high at the moment with the frame rate. So yeah, a whole bunch of books in the displays here. These were ones that I added in myself. We even got some holotapes and books everywhere. Books. Even got this one here, the Anarchist Cookbook. It was in the display thing, so I decided to use it. Why the heck not? Some more stuff, a nice little cozy section to sit down and read a book and catch the morning sun, and just, again, books everywhere, tables everywhere. Just put a whole bunch of books on top of the tables to make it look like people have been in here and doing stuff. And there you have it. This is, oops, wrong button. This is the tour of the castle. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this one. Everybody went nuts for it when I first was given some teasers on Facebook, and now you guys have a chance to actually see what this place looks like. I put a ton of work into it, as you can tell. There are so many things that you can't even see that I've done. If we bring up the menu here, we have all these individual pieces that have all been stuck together in order to create things like doorways. It wasn't just simply, big pieces, big honking pieces, snap them together and go. Just tons and tons of little details in order to make this look as nice as it does. Now, one last thing, as I was finishing up the castle and talking to some of the subscribers there, somebody had mentioned about hidden passageways. Your name escapes me at the moment, so if that was you, feel free to chime in and say, hey, that was you, and kudos to you for giving me the idea. Now, where did we put the secret passageway? Well, if you can see right in front of you, one of these things is not like the other. So if we come over here, we can actually open this wall, and we have ourselves a little kind of panic room that also leads to another little door down here. So if we open that and drop down in here, we have ourselves a serious panic room, so that if things are getting really bad, so I can close the door, there we go. We can come down here, and if you're getting totally overrun, you have an escape hatch so that you can get out of the castle and take off. So we can go ahead and close that. It more or less fits in. But so this is the back of the castle. You can see the walls lead right into the side of the castle, and I kept all the windows up nice and high so that it's realistic and functional to some sort of extent, I guess you can say. And so yeah, so that's our little castle. Let's go ahead right back in here. Oops. If you've seen my videos before, you know I'm terrible with stairs, so that's why I fall all the time. So I hope you all enjoyed my castle build here, and like I said, this is going to be available for download. Now, how is that going to be possible? So, if you are on PC, you're going to have to download a specific mod, as well as the mods that I used to make this settlement. If you just want the buildings themselves, like the castle, without any like the decorations or any of the other special stuff I did, you can pretty much get away with just using Snappy builds. So you'd have to have Snappy builds plus the mod that allows you to download my settlement. So how does that work? So I download that same mod. when the time comes, I'm going to do a whole tutorial on this, and I'm going to use it to basically, in a nutshell, it scans my entire settlement and makes a blueprint. Then you're going to take that file that I create and put it into that same mod, and it's going to take that blueprint and basically build the settlement for you. To do that, make sure that you already have unlocked the settlement. It's probably a good idea to come in and clear the land of all trees, all buildings. And I also use a mod to make my settlements bigger. If you look, let me turn this on, you can see how much further out I can build compared to where you normally would be able to build. Ignore the frame rate drop. I think normally you're like way closer. It's a much smaller settlement when it's vanilla. So
If you ain't been
at
up
the
to see
time,
Grey Garden, you should go.
ignore
Whole
that.
place is
When the
overlooked.
time comes, I will do a tutorial video on how to do this from start to finish to make sure that you can get it with all the different degrees of just the buildings, the castle, or if you want all the decorations, if you want it to look exactly the same as what I have, you have to have every single mod that I am using. So when the time comes and I create it, I will have the entire list so that you can see every single thing and choose which how far you want to go with that. Now, last little thing for those of you that have been long-time viewers, I did stick a little Easter egg in here. If you found it, kudos to you. If you didn't, well, you might have to go back and watch it again, because I told you I'm never going to point them out again. The castle video, my previous one of the castle, I showed you what to look for. It's a little trophy star, and if you saw it and found it, good for you. If not, well, you'll have to go back and look for it if you're into that kind of stuff. So, that's going to do it for this video, and we will catch you sometime again in the near future. I will be doing my playthrough of Fallout 3 in a couple of weeks, and I got more settlements coming up for you guys every other Sunday. So I will see you guys very soon. Until then, don't get irradiated. Now, for those of you who stuck around all the way to the very end, a little bit of bonus footage. Be prepared for all the frame rate drops, but here's a little aerial view of the actual settlement, so you can see just the grand scale of this whole thing, and watch as my poor computer struggles to render everything from way up here. Yeah, you can see all the work I put into making this place and getting it as extravagant as it is. Had a lot of fun building this, and something I've always wanted to do, and I'm so glad that I've finally been able to actually do that. So enjoy my 20-something frames per second aerial tour of Tenpines Bluff, Castle Bluff, whatever we want to call it, Castle Tenpenny, who cares, whatever. Nothing to do with Harry Potter. Get that out of your mind.